Being able to go to the essence of your food, having a connection with it, and sharing that with friends and whānau, that shapes us.
For Matt Watson, fishing is a way of life.
My biggest fear is we're going to have a generation of youngsters in New Zealand that may never get to experience that, all because there's an industry that want to make a buck right now.
As a recreational fisher, are you worried about the state of our oceans right now?
Oh, absolutely I am.
That's in part because of big changes to fishing regulations.
We stand against the demonisation and the tainting of the commercial fishing sector.
Changes that are driven by New Zealand First's Shane Jones.
We stand strong with this industry.
Jones has bowed to industry wishes regarding on-vessel camera footage. The public will be blocked from getting video of illegal activity.
Does the public have a right to know what's happening in every egg farm? Does the public have a right to know what's happening in your home? No, they don't. I do not accept state surveillance of industry.
And the latest proposed tweaks, there are 19 of them, are just as contentious. One suggests when commercial boats catch marlin and they are dead, they be allowed to keep them and sell them.
The Ministry of Primary Industries says that if commercial skippers are allowed to take their dead marlin and then sell it, it will not create and incentivise targeting that species. What do you make of that rationale?
Bullshit. It's happened in recent history.
That history was in the 90s when catch of swordfish, a different species to marlin, skyrocketed, when commercial fishers were allowed to keep them if accidentally caught.
MPI also says if they did notice an increase in marlin being taken as dead and then sold, they would act swiftly to rectify the situation.
But they didn't do that last time. They can say that, but they didn't do it with swordfish. They rewarded the guys taking them by giving them quota.
Shane Jones thinks the concerns are being exaggerated.
I do feel there's been quite a bit of catastrophisation, and sadly it's been driven by various snapperillas out of the fisheries recreational sector.
Don't these recreational anglers have a legitimate point to make, given history and given that they have no guarantee that these precious species won't end up being targeted by commercial fishers?
Well, that's an allegation that they're making.
So you're one of the original game fishers, Andy?
Yep,
Bay of Islands.
been doing this for over 40 years now. I've had several boats. This is my 5th game boat.
Andy Magoki, skipper of the vessel Wahoo, knows the value of sports fishing to the Bay of Islands.
Most of my customers come from overseas, so they're buying an air flight, they're paying for accommodation, they're paying for restaurants, they're paying for shopping.
He's convinced allowing the commercial guys to sell marlin will incentivise targeting the species.
I don't want this to happen because it's going to put me out of business.
What do you say to the Fisheries Minister Shane Jones, who seems to support the idea of doing this?
Listen to the people. Don't listen to the dollars. Listen to the people. The townspeople don't want this.
Jones says he is listening.
Now, if it comes to pass that it's a molehill, politically speaking, not worth dying on, then people will know where we stand in that regard in the new year.
Seafood New Zealand told the Herald allowing the landing of dead marlin is unlikely to turn this into a target fishery, and that surface longline vessels are fishing for high-value tuna, not marlin. And there's no reason to change how they fish to catch more marlin, as it's worth less money. The proposed changes are not solely about allowing commercial fishing operators to sell dead marlin. There's also a plan to allow them to sell 19 other non-quota species like red moki and boarfish. And there's also a plan to allow set net operators to use bigger nets that are up to 4,500 metres in length. Watson says policies like allowing bigger nets are dangerous.
In MPI's words, it's to increase efficiencies for vessels going out. What do you make of that?
The word efficiency is just saying letting them take more, which would be fine if there wasn't collateral damage. Okay, so let's say that those extra nets only caught the target species, but we all know that it doesn't.
How would you articulate or describe the current situation that we face with all these changes?
It is a commercial industry first approach. I mean, I can't even believe we're having this conversation, that we would even open that door.
Why is that door being opened, do you think?
Because Shane's mates with them.
And that, in your
Well, that's
view,
my belief. That's my belief.
And are you worried about that conflict?
Yes, I am.
Should other New Zealanders be worried about that conflict?
Absolutely, we should be worried about that conflict.
You describe yourself as an apostle for the commercial industry. Are all these changes happening because you are good mates with people in the commercial sector?
No, this is this scribbling that I encounter on Facebook and TikTok.
But you are friends with some of these executives, right?
The reality is that my approach is growing jobs, growing industry, and ensuring that we have a sustainable fishery, which is why I've introduced a lot of restrictions related to crayfish. For example, there's some more restrictions coming, and no one is ever going to cower me by spreading misinformation and scribbling all over Instagram. It's just never ever going to happen.
Tuna there, bit of a fish.
Bit of a monument to the epic expeditions.
Here's the actual fish here in the water. So I jumped in the water with it. We got some measurements and then let it go. And I just sent the measurements to a taxidermist and said, if anyone ever catches one as big, I'll get a mould.
Watson is urging the country's recreational anglers to start taking notice and make sure their concerns are known.
We can't just go, well, you know, so long as I can catch a feed, she'll be right. We have to think further forward than that. We have to do something now or it could be gone.
Watson's earliest memory of fishing was catching a snapper with his parents as a 4-year-old, and he subsequently built an incredible career out of the sport. But he warns mismanagement has serious implications.
I just want every New Zealander, young New Zealander, to have not just the opportunities that I've had from the ocean, but the experiences, because it shapes who you are. You know, so people, when they see me, like, oh, you always seem to be so happy. Well, yeah, I am, because they see me when I'm fishing. They see me when I'm around the ocean. That's when I've got a camera on me. But man, I spend some sleepless nights worrying about what's happening out there.